As we are speaking about maturation and evolution, we didn't get a chance to talk about this yesterday, but Conor McGregor did make some headlines over the weekend at the BKFC event in Rome, talking about his maturation and evolution. Want to play this clip and then react to it on the back end? First off, here it is.
Do you feel that there is a connection between your journey and the spirit of BKFC in some way?
For sure, for sure. I am not here just by chance. There is a higher power, God, that dictates my journey and all of our journeys. And I live my life by God's word. And since around that time that you mentioned at the last event, I've engaged on a spiritual journey. And I'm saved, I am healed. And on the back of that, the world is in for a treat. The world is in for a treat. My competitive spark that was once in my heart is now a roaring blaze. So I'm very excited. You know, I envy these men up here on this dais. They're right about to make weight, and they're to go in and enjoy and entertain and do what they were called to do, as am I called to do it. And you know, I'm eager to get back. And right now I had to dial myself in and go inward, and that I done. And I'm very, very excited to come back my own self.
So here's what I'll say about that. Number one, it does come across to me like he's a lot more chill, right? We're not seeing the guy that we saw at the press conferences a couple of months ago with Mike Perry and whatnot. And he has, at least for now, stayed true, to the announcement that he was going to go off social media. He was going to go dark. He hasn't posted anything on X or Instagram or anything like that. But I will also say, and I think that he would agree with me, I don't think that he would think it's an unfair thing to say, actions speak louder than words. We have heard things like this from not only him, but athletes of all kinds over the years. And ultimately, you have to walk the walk. You could say this, you could talk about changing and spiritual journey, and the fans will want to believe you. Some of the fans, others will roll their eyes and say, yeah, we've heard this before and we don't believe you. But you have to sustain it over a prolonged amount of time, and you have to keep doing it. And you have to come back and fight, and you have to actually back it up, and you have to stay out of the headlines, and you have to stay out of trouble, and you have to just stay on the straight and narrow. And so if you are a fan of his, like I said a couple of weeks ago, you should be happy he's off social media. And if you are a fan of his, you should be happy that he is sounding this way. And if you are a fan of his, you should be happy about these words. But ultimately, I don't blame anyone who sits back and says, all right, show us. I'm not celebrating just yet, or whatever you want to call it. I'm not going to pat you on the back just yet. Actions speak louder than words. And so there are promising signs. If you are hoping that he'll return next year, if you're hoping that he's going to fight on the White House card, if you're hoping that he can some way, somehow, I don't even know if it's possible, get back to the old Conor McGregor. I don't know if that's even possible because of how much has happened in his life, but these are promising signs. I would venture to say, if it wasn't for his involvement in BKFC, we probably wouldn't hear or see him all this much, right? Like, we wouldn't see him in Newark, New Jersey. We wouldn't see him in Rome. And so that would even be more powerful, but we are getting a chance to hear from him from time to time these days. And there are promising signs, but I don't think that we can celebrate just yet. I don't think we can say, oh, he's back just yet, just because he says he's back. Now, this has to last for 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, a lifetime, not just months, a lifetime. This has to be the turning point. Everything that transpired over the past year has to be the turning point. Otherwise, it's all for naught. And so, as I've said time and again, I do believe that he is sincere in his desire to fight on the White House card. And I do believe that the White House officials want him to be on that card. And I believe that the UFC would want him to be fighting in on that card as well. But that card is still, some 8 months from now. There's still a lot of days, a lot of nights to come and go. And so he has to stay true to it. He has to back up those words. The voice sounds a lot calmer. He does seem a lot more chill. He does seem happy with his family, all these things, but we're getting tiny, tiny snippets. That's a 2-minute clip. These are videos that are popping up here and there. So interesting to see. Hope for his sake and for his family's sake, he is able to turn the corner and become a better person and become free and become, as he said, spiritually cleansed and all this stuff. But ultimately, actions do speak louder than words. And I don't think that that's some crazy stance or anything like that. But that's kind of, all right, this is better than I thought than the version that we saw when Perry's up there and they're yelling at each other and he's getting all fired up and I don't think that's the version that you want to see right now. This to me is the more promising version.
No problem, mate. Yeah.
Well, there you go. There you go, Frank. Do you agree with me? Do you think that?
Absolutely.
Yeah, it remains to be seen. But I suppose if you're a fan, promising signs.
Definitely. I mean, the first thing is just his demeanor was completely different than some of the high energy that we've seen. So I think he's speaking truthfully. But again, as you said, actions are going to speak louder than all of that.
Yeah. And it's 8 months. It's not like he's fighting next month. So if he wants to be on this card, and especially, I would imagine that the White House is going to have some kind of say in, the characters that are on this card. Like they don't want any I would think you don't want any sort of controversy attached like a month before the fight. So this would be a good time to stay on the straight and narrow. Thanks for watching this video. Before you go, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button for us. Also, give us a thumbs up, leave a nice comment. These things go a long way. And while you're here, do check out the rest of the channel. We've got live shows and full interviews, clips, and a whole lot more. We're doing big things here, and we appreciate your support very much.